So here's the big question. Is there something that the media should be talking about, but isn't? Of course, related to oral systemic health or something under the umbrella of what it is that you do. I have a feeling that the answer is yes, or you wouldn't have made your way to this page. That there's a chance that you open up the newspaper or turn on the news and you see other stories related to healthcare and they're missing something. Possibly dentists adding to the equation, to the conversation. Dr. Chris Kammer, you'll see his face further down on this webpage, is somebody that came to me. My name is Jess Todfield. I am a media consultant and a former TV producer. I was a producer for 13 years on the national level. And now in my second career of being a media consultant, I met Dr. Chris Kammer and he told me about this idea. Actually, he told me about the idea 5 years ago, but it has been, I think, brewing in his mind longer than that. And he said, I have this plan. I would love to have, so he didn't just say idea, he said plan, to have this army of dentists who are out there ready to talk to the media, are fired up about what it is that you do, and can put the right messages into the discussion. And I said, it sounds good. And he was the first person to put himself in the hot seat in front of me. And we've actually put together a few programs over the years with dentists, getting them media trained, media ready, so that they can go out there, feel more confident, more comfortable with the process, know all of the ins and outs of what the media is looking for and how to speak to the media prior to getting the interview as well as the interview as well. And when we remove that unknown, the idea is these folks have been ready to go out there and just hit it big, be able to put the right stories out that should be out there. So this is what we have brewing. The next one is happening on Sunday, June 24th in connection with the AOSH conference that's happening in Cleveland. So you can scroll down and you can see, if you're not already signed up for the whole big event, well, you probably should be. And the media training portion, this is the training part, so everybody can be actually confident and go out there and do what they need to do, will be happening for 4 of those hours, and there's a whole bunch of other things that happen over the next bunch of months through phone or webinar or one of those things, because we really want everybody to be able to do what it is that we're proposing here. So it's not just, hey, show up for some workshop and we're going to talk about it. You'll get a chance to practice on that Sunday and turn towards a partner, practice some of it. I'll be videotaping some people. I'll be playing videos of famous people and dentists who have been in the media and some of the folks who are in the room. So there'll be a lot of practicing so we can get rid of that unknown. And you can really go out afterwards and say, I think I could do this. I saw myself working with everybody else. I feel really strong. I can do it. That's when we know people are empowered to take that next step. So, some of the issues that are out there. The issues are dentists really are not showing up in enough stories. And when they are showing up, sometimes it's for the wrong reasons. And it could be somebody who did something wrong, got in trouble with the law. Not exactly the kind of story that you want from somebody in your profession. Or if it's related to Halloween and, hey, don't give those kids as much candy. Well, that's one time of year that you could get out there. But there are 364 more days and more options than those 364 to get out there and have the right stories. And let's even face it, look, when it comes to you and your business, this is a wonderful type of marketing. I've used it in my business, so in addition to showing people how to stand here and talk to a camera or talk to an interviewer, I try to practice what I preach. So I go out and I do interviews as much as I can and comment on things in the news or related to communications and all of that. And it's a great form of marketing. It can be fun. Some of you might be thinking, yeah, it is fun. And some of you may say, I don't know, I'm a little nervous. Don't worry, we take care of that. And we'll get you past that point where you say, all right, this is pretty good. But it's also a great form of marketing. And it's kind of nice on your waiting room wall to have those screenshots should it be television that you're going after. You may not. Maybe you do radio or print, in which case you can still make up a nice graphic on your computer with the logo or the masthead of the newspaper and put your big quote on there and put it on the wall. It's a nice thing for people to come in and see and say, wow, I have the celebrity dentist here. That's pretty cool. So there are a lot of other nice side benefits that go along with this. Obviously, the big benefit is that you're helping to shape the national discussion that is going on, and that needs to happen. Right now, we are in an election year, so it really needs to happen, and there is a lot of conversation related to healthcare, and there is a lot of the conversation that is missing. So that's where all of you come in. So I want to make sure, part of what I do, I mean, you can scroll down, you can sign up. There's a limited number of seats. I'm going to tell you about this, and then I'm going to give you some actual action items that you can use right now. But you can scroll down on this page here. There are a limited number of seats. I think right now, as of the recording of this video, that we can definitely let 20 people into this program. We're trying to get a larger room, which means maybe 40 people can get into this program, and people that we will continue to coach and talk to and try to fire people up and give the right tools to, so that you can go out there and speak to the media. So, having said all that, I want to make sure to give some real value during this video, because that's just the way I am. Anytime I get in front of people or talk to them on the phone, I always think, what kind of nugget or knowledge can I give you right now so you can say, whoa, I can go do something. So here it comes. When speaking to the media, whether we're talking about television or print or radio or phone interviews, one thing related to the style element. So I'm pointing here because I'm thinking that relates to body language and voice. One important thing, I used to say to people, you need energy. Whether you're talking on the telephone, I looked at my telephone across the room here, whether you're talking on the telephone or standing in front of a camera, energy, but in recent years I've figured out really how to connect that with people and get them to turn energy on. And for television, TV is a cooling medium. It sucks the energy out of people in their interviews. When you play it back, you say, wow, I thought I was a little bit more fired up than that. Here's the one word that has helped me to extract that from people. Passion. What is the passion that you have about what you do that made you become a dentist, that keeps you going every single day? What are those elements that make you say, this is what I really want people to know? When you connect to that passion, you're in the zone. You're doing what you need to do. I know for me, coming up, standing here right now, I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do and speak to people every single day on the telephone, and obviously when I do these workshops. And I love to see that transformation where people are saying, I think I can do it, you know, I'm here, I have the idea, and to see them afterwards say, now I'm going to own it. I want people to know these messages, media messages, using some internal lingo there. So passion, that energy on any type of interview, even if you go do an interview right now today, think about that so that you can get fired up. And you'll see the interviewer on the other side is saying, oh, wow, I'm really eating this up, however they say it, because they will be eating it up. Passion is a big one. The second one I brought up, messaging and media messaging. So a lot of folks worry about the questions that might get asked. And that is the one piece of the equation that we have zero control over. But there's good news. The one area that we have 100% control over are the answers. And I have many techniques, some of which I'll be teaching you, or all of which I'll be teaching you on that Sunday coming up when we do this big workshop. But a couple that I can give you right now, related to answering questions, are, think of it this way. Anything that comes out of your mouth is a message. Anything that comes out of your mouth that you want to show up either in the video piece or in an article or any type of piece that's being done are your media messages. So here's part of the drill that I show people. You can do it right now if you want. Take out a fresh sheet of paper. You could do it on the computer if you can't read your handwriting. I can't read mine. And write down for 7 minutes the answers not the questions, the answers that you would like to see in this piece. If they said, Jess, I am too lazy to come up with good questions, just write down whatever it is you'd like to see in the piece and we'll just print it. We'll run with it, no big deal. That is the drill. Write that down for 7 minutes. And what you'll find is that is the beginning of your roadmap, where you look at it and say, whoa, if I just said half of these things, I would be absolutely thrilled. And now you can start to crowd out the other things that you know you don't want to say, the things that are not media messages, and think, gee, if I can just bring as much of this up as possible. You're already 80% there. And there are a whole lot of other techniques that I can do to get you 100%. But just doing that one thing, you're so far ahead of other people. So great messaging, media messaging technique. And the cherry on top, creating irresistible quotes. In print they call them quotes. That's what they're looking for. They'll talk to you for an hour, but you may only end up with 2 quotes. And in video or audio, they call it sound bites. Now, a lot of people think that sound bites are speaking in short, halting ways and sounding like a weird person, or the politicians who will only say this one tiny little answer and not give anything else. No, it's not that. And it's not the way I see it. So other folks may think that that's the case. Out of the paragraphs of what you say, it's that one morsel, that one bite that makes it into the piece. But the techniques, I'll bring up a few right now, on how to create an irresistible message, that is the purpose of coming up with a soundbite in advance of your interview. And this works. It works with many of my clients. I go out and I test it a few times a year with a story for the heck of it, because I know I'll come up with the perfect answer. And I will bring it up to reporters, or I'll put it out there in my press releases, and they go crazy over it, and they print it everywhere. So here are a couple of elements that help to make the perfect irresistible answer. So you're speaking a whole paragraph, and then you use an analogy. So look, say somebody says, this is something I've used in interviews. They say, well, Jess, what if we just worked with you for 15 minutes, or we just did with this one little thing? Here comes the analogy. That is just a Band-Aid approach. What you really want to do is this. So analogy, Band-Aid. In fact, here comes one right now that I'm thinking of. This process of speaking to the media is a lot like riding a bicycle. I can talk about it all day long, but unless I put you on the bicycle, and we'll have drills when I see all of you at this big conference, unless I put you on the bicycle, you won't really know how to ride a bike. And that is the difference between talking about something and doing. So that's an analogy I use. And I have a feeling many of you use analogies in your normal day when you talk about what it is that you do. But imagine if you used it in a media interview, how great it would be, and how much better of a chance you'd have of getting certain answers into stories. So that's just a technique that works. You can flip through today's newspaper and you might see an analogy, you probably will, or one of my other 12 elements. Here comes another one. I can't tell you all of them today, but I will tell you a few of them so you can walk away and say, I could probably try this out. The next one is emotion. Look through the newspaper. If you see somebody's answer where they say, I was saddened to find out this information. We were heartened when we knew this. It was excruciating when I went through. Anytime there's some sort of word that brings out the emotion, the interviewer says, whoa, slow down, say that again. So my experience when I was a TV producer was people would hand me a tape and they'd say, go take this into an edit room and go find a soundbite. And I would walk in there, we'd punch it in, and I would turn to the editor who was there, and we would both say, I know a good soundbite when I hear it. And we would listen and listen and listen, and then we say, oh, stop. The Band-Aid approach, put that down. They were disheartened when they found out this. Put that one in, eject the tape. We know we got what we needed. So you can still get the paragraphs in, but when they hear those words, they latch on to some of the sections of what it is you're saying. And maybe they rewrite for print. Maybe they rewrite a piece of the other parts of what you were saying, but then they take that one little answer on there. The last element related to my soundbite system, rhetorical questions. Here's what's wonderful about rhetorical questions, or excuse me, let me rephrase that. Why are rhetorical questions good to use when talking to the media? Well, I'll tell you why they're good to use when talking to the media. It gives you more control, and it's a soundbite element. People do this over and over. By the way, you can't do it in every answer. It would sound ridiculous. And on the ridiculous front, I should bring up the goal of what I do and the skills that I give to people. And that's the component that I'm adding to the whole idea of Dental Media Masters, is I'm helping to give all of you the skills and the focus to go do what you need to do. Is I'm not trying to turn you into somebody that you're not. That would be bad. That would be the wrong way of approaching this. What I want to do is give you the tools and the skills and bring out the best parts of who you are. So I'm not trying to change you into somebody different. I want to enhance the best parts that your family probably knows who you are and what you're like when those best parts come out. And the problem is when people get in front of the media, they say, yes, I'm really excited and happy to be here. You probably don't believe that right now, that I'm excited. So the idea is you can use those last irresistible quote elements, the soundbite system that I talked about, and you can have a far, far better chance of making it into stories. So this is a little glimpse into some of what I'll be talking about when I see all of you at the big next Dental Media Masters workshop. And I encourage you to do this. Scroll down, look around this page. There are some videos of people who have been through some of my past programs. And they're talking in their own words about what it gave them, what it was like, what went through their mind prior. If you want to hear from them, I encourage you to. You'll get a sense of what how it helped them in their field, in their industry. And as time's going on, we'll be adding more dentist videos to the page here as well. We're actually doing this at an introductory fee, an introductory price of $499. And most of my programs, my private programs, are much more than that, but most of the programs that I do with groups tend to be about $997, $1,000 per person. And the idea here is we really want to kick this thing off big, so it's really at half price. So if you have any second thoughts about doing this, now really is the time. And there's a limited group that we're doing it for. I mentioned that in the beginning. So sign up early, and I can't wait to work with you and get those right messages out there.